Ladies, grab a notebook. I have my notes ready to go. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca. I have a master's in psychology. I wanted to create this channel so that I can create more long-form psychology videos, and I really hope you guys like it. So yeah, let's get straight into it. You guys, the notes I have are extensive. By the way, if I look down, I am literally just looking at my notes. Alright, so I want to start out with this term. It's called self-efficacy. This is very different from self-worth. Self-efficacy is an individual's belief that they can succeed or accomplish in a specific situation or a specific task or challenge. Now, self-esteem is different. Self-esteem is someone's overall sense of worth. Back to self-efficacy. Self-efficacy affects how we as humans see a challenge. Someone with high self-efficacy will see a challenge and step up. Someone with low self-efficacy will see a challenge and step back. Some people have high self-efficacy, some people have low self-efficacy. Someone with high self-efficacy is someone who recovers very quickly from setbacks. This person sets higher goals, they experience less stress in general, because when a challenge arises, they have a little bit more of this sense of, I can probably just do it and get it over with, compared to someone who has low self-efficacy. Someone with high self-efficacy, in return, will have very high confidence. Now, someone with low self-efficacy is someone who's constantly avoiding challenges. They give up pretty easily and they see challenges more as a threat to themselves. They get more easily overwhelmed, and in return, they have decreased confidence in themselves. Now, the good news is if you find yourself to be someone with low self-efficacy, that it's not permanent. This isn't a permanent sense of self, okay? This is something you can change. You have so much power. You have the power to flip that switch in your brain. I'm gonna teach you how. Let's get into it. So, we have 4 sources of self-efficacy. That means we have essentially 4 places we can gain confidence and self-efficacy from. So the first one is the most important one, and this is known as the most influential source of self-efficacy. This is called performance accomplishment, or it's also known as mastery experiences. So this is going to be your first-hand experience with challenges, all right? When you try something and you actually succeed, you're building that belief in yourself, which in return is slowly diminishing past failures. I need you to remember it needs to be done multiple times to be kind of stamped into your brain. It's not going to happen overnight, but you will feel it. The first time you try it, I promise you're going to feel the difference within yourself. I'm going to go over the 3 other sources of self-efficacy, and then we'll return to this concept of mastery experiences or performance accomplishments so that I can explain how we're going to do that. So the second source of self-efficacy is vicarious experiences. That's watching someone else. If you are, let's say, a dancer and you are performing and you watch someone from behind the curtain and they fall on their butt and ruin the whole routine. Now, you seeing that happen is a form of observational learning. It's unfortunate, but now your brain thinks that that's probably going to happen to you. Now, if you watch someone succeed, you witness someone's success story, that is actually going to boost your confidence that it will happen to you as well. Moral of the story is don't surround yourself with losers. Number 3 is verbal persuasion. This is encouragement verbally from a credible source. So if it comes from a credible source and it's words of encouragement, then it's going to boost your self-esteem or your confidence in the task at hand or the situation. However, if a credible source also gives you negative feedback, that's also going to have maybe a negative effect on you. If the verbal persuasion is coming from not a credible source, maybe don't take it if it's negative. One more thing about verbal persuasion, this can come from you. You can talk to yourself. You can write on your mirror with an expo marker. You can write on a post-it note and tape it to your laptop, or you can get it tattooed on your forehead. But verbal persuasion can come from yourself too, don't get me wrong. How you speak to yourself matters. That takes me into number 3, which is psychological states. So how you perceive what your response will be matters a lot about what your response will actually be. If you look at a challenge and you're like, oh my God, I'm about to freak out, you will freak out. There's 2 ways you can see a challenge. You can see it as exciting, or you can see it as stress and panic. It's up to you. That's your choice, what you see it as, okay? If you believe something's impossible, you're not gonna try it, right? So how you look at it matters a lot. Now let's go back to the first source, which is performance accomplishment. So your confidence in not only your abilities is going to increase, okay? Your confidence in yourself is going to increase. So how do we gain control over how many times we get to do this. You would think that it's kind of like you sit and wait for the opportunity of a challenge to pop up and then you take action. But you really don't have to wait till that opportunity appears. That's not really the case. You can train yourself to seek out challenges, okay? If you're someone with low self-efficacy, your brain is wired to avoid challenges. So whenever you start working on that, you're gonna be able to more easily seek out challenges for yourself. All right, we're on the final page. Stick with me here. This is how you're gonna actually rewire your brain. So we have something called the habit loop. I'm gonna kind of tailor it a little bit to fit more with self-confidence, but essentially we have the number one thing at the top of the habit loop, which is a cue or a trigger. The cue or the trigger is the start of the loop, okay? Something doesn't go the way you planned. Let's say your presentation is deleted off of your laptop 1 hour before you have to give it. You're trying to go viral and every single video you're posting flops. You raise your hand in class and with your whole entire chest, you say the answer and it's wrong. Whatever it may be, you start out by recognizing it as a challenge. Don't look at it as a threat. It's not one. This is your chance to rewire your brain. If you remember me saying training your brain to seek out challenges, this is part of that, all right? This is the first part of that. So you recognize something as a challenge, and then now you have a decision to make. So you're flooded with emotions, and this is where you decide that you're not afraid and you're not stressed out. All right, you decide that. You make that decision. That power is absolutely yours and no one else's. Single decision is either going to propel you into action and into decision making, or it's going to propel you into paralysis. Obviously, it sounds easier than it actually is. This is the hard part, making that decision that you're not afraid, you're not gonna get stressed out, that you're not gonna back down, you're gonna keep trying until you get to a solution. That's when you make that decision. So that was number 2 in the habit loop. We went from the cue and the trigger, we've touched on the response, and now let's look at the reward or positive reinforcement. So we have 3 possible outcomes when someone's facing a challenge. The first one is you try and you succeed and it's stamped into your brain, I can do this, I can do anything. Now the second scenario is you give up. All right, you let your mind hijack the situation and you solidify that you're so afraid of failing that you can't even try. You can't even think clearly for a moment to figure out what you need to do. And then lastly, you try and you don't succeed. Now you have a personalized formula of what you need to do next time in order to succeed. You now have exactly how much more it would take to push to be able to get what you want. You do it once and you journal about it, and now you have your own formula for success. You know exactly how much you pushed, how much more was necessary, and what was working and what wasn't working. So now the next time when a challenge arises, and we're not going anywhere for a minute, guys, so that challenge is gonna come up again. Maybe it comes up in a kind of different way, but the universe is gonna present it to you again, and you will have another opportunity. You tried it once, and now you know what you need to do to succeed next time. Whenever you get to a point where you've done it a couple times, your brain is solidifying the concept of, I can do anything. That's going to manifest into so many different facets of your life. That energy is going to go everywhere with you, whatever situation. Just to wrap up here, I need you guys to be in the headspace where you are treating your mental health just as well as you're treating your physical health. If you want to grow your biceps or your legs or strengthen your core, you're going to go to the gym until you get there. Right? You're gonna keep going to the gym until you're satisfied with the results. I need you to treat your mental health the same exact way. Treat your confidence and self-efficacy like a muscle. You need to work at it every single day to strengthen that muscle. Let me know if you guys try this. I wanna hear about it. I wanna hear your success stories. Remember, if you put your success stories in the comments when people read it through vicarious experiences and observational learning, they're going to, in return, feel more confident. Make sure you follow my socials, they're linked in the description, and I will see you guys in my next video.